Welcome to Align Christ-Centered Yoga. My name is Linda and I'll be guiding our practice today. My question for you today is, how attuned are you to the changes going on around you? I find that I am often so focused on the goal that I fail to notice all of the changes in my health, in my body, in my family. We have a God who never changes. We have this foundation and this anchor and this God who is with us yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So in that, we can step back, slow down, and begin to take advantage of the changes in our lives as we notice them. Sarah Young, in her book, Jesus Calling, says this, written as if from God to you. I am yours for all eternity. I am the Alpha and Omega, the one who is and was and is to come. The world you inhabit is a place of constant changes, more than your mind can absorb without going into shock. Even the body you inhabit is changing relentlessly in spite of modern science's attempts to prolong youth and life indefinitely. I, however, am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Our practice today is going to be a somatic practice, a very slow practice. We will be lying down, we will be sitting, we will not be standing or kneeling or doing downward facing dog. And in this practice, I invite you to notice. Notice how the body feels, notice where it feels a little bit stuck or where there are unexpected sensations. Notice range of motion, notice breath. Notice heart rate. And as you do that, notice the way that you feel as you settle into the mat, this firm foundation. Maybe taking this into life as you leave the mat today, holding on to this God who never changes, and embracing the changes of our lives as we move through them. We're going to start lying down, so bring your back to the mat, knees bent. Find a comfortable position for your head. So if you need to prop it up with a blanket or a small pillow, go ahead. It's great if you can just keep your head flat to the mat, but if you find that your chin points up or that it's just really uncomfortable without support, then go ahead and support it. Find Shavasana with the legs extended and the arms down at your side and closing your eyes. I invite you just to feel the firm foundation underneath you. This mat, the earth below it. And notice how your body feels, where you're comfortable, where you are uncomfortable. Specifically, notice the hip and the back regions, and that's where our focus is going to be today. As you begin, notice how your body is settled onto the mat, the way that the feet are rotated, the calves connected, the space underneath the knees. Is there space underneath the thighs? How are the hips connected? Feeling the beginning and the end of the arch of the back. Noticing the way the middle and upper back are connected to the mat. How are you resting on the shoulder blades? Top third, middle third, bottom third, even, right to left. And as you notice all of this, just accept everything as it is. It is your starting point today. Notice the way the upper arms are connected. Do the forearms touch the mat? Are the fingers relaxed? Are your hands up or down? Notice the curve of the neck, where that begins and ends. And the way that you are settled in the back of your head. Again, is it centered? Is it behind the bridge of your nose or further up or down? Is it heavier right to left? Find your breath, breathing a deep breath in, breathing into the lungs, then into the rib cage, then all the way down to the pelvis. And exhale, drawing the belly in, softening the rib cage, emptying the lungs. And continue here, breathing in, breathing out. How does the body move with the breath? The somatic flow is very much a connection of brain to movement, connection of breath to movement. Bending your knees, bring your feet hip width apart. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Go ahead and make a circle with your thumb and your middle finger. Gently press the thumb and middle finger to the shoulder. And begin to bring the elbows up, touching each other, maybe not. How far do they come in and out again? And notice the movement of the shoulder blades on the mat. Notice any sensation in the upper back, across the chest, maybe even in the abdominals, the neck, or the lower back. And do this twice more. And let the shoulders get heavy on the mat. Bring the hands down to the hip points. Gently lift the hip points up to the sky. And then tilt the hips so that the hips come down towards the mat. Come back to center. Take a breath. Let the body reset. So again, tilting up, drawing back, coming to center, settling. And do that twice more. How does the lower back feel? How does the neutral position of the back feel? And one final time. Bring the hands lightly behind the ears, elbows back. Bring the elbows up towards the sky. Tuck your chin. Tilt the hips so that the back is towards the mat. And draw the rib cage towards the hips. So it's a crunch. Gently come back. Come to neutral position of the spine, elbows out. Take a breath here. So in a somatic flow, we're not letting momentum guide us. Every move is intentional, noticing the response of the body to movement. Elbows rise, chin tucks, hips tilt towards the mat, crunch up. Release down, elbows out, back to neutral position. 2 more times. Elbows, upper body, release and come back. And again, elbows rise. You're finding that crunch as the hips tilt, the upper body rises. Come back, bring the arms out to the side. Take one breath here. Just notice how the body feels. Come back into Shavasana so that the legs are extended. The palms are down to the side. Notice how the body feels. Keep the left leg long. Take that right foot, bring it against the mat, and slide it up the inside of that other leg to the knee. Gently let the knee come out to the side, back up to center, and extend. Take a breath. Do you notice any difference in the way that the right side is connected compared to the left? Again, feeling the mat underneath the foot as the foot slides to the inside of the knee. Bringing the knee out to the side. Exhale as the knee rises back up. Inhale as you lengthen the leg. Take a breath here. Twice more, your own pace, but connected to breath. So you're going to breathe in as the knee rises. Exhale as it comes out to the side. Breathe in as the knee rises. Exhale, extend. Take a breath and center. And that one more time on your own. Settle. Quick body scan. Just notice how the feet have rotated, the connection of the legs to the mat, the hips. Are you heavier on one side or the other? Does the body feel flatter on one side or the other? The curve of the lower back, the connection of the middle and the upper back, the arms, the curve of the neck, and the weight of the head. And repeat the sequence on the other side. So this left foot connected to the mat slides up, knee comes out. Bring it back up to center and extend. So always work within your own range of motion. Run away from pain. Go ahead and slide the foot up. Let the knee come out to the side. Inhale up and extend. Settle and breathe. Do you notice a difference in the way the body has settled? Again, just connecting to your own breath. Each movement connected to the inhale or the exhale. And one final time. Again, just noticing and scanning the body. Does one side of the body feel longer or flatter? Has that changed or shifted? Noticing how these small movement patterns make a difference in the way that the body feels, make a difference in the tension that the body holds. So shifting this just a little bit, taking that right leg, go ahead and bring that leg a little bit out to the side. Knee stays down and out. And then just bring that knee in towards the other knee. Back out to the side and around. Straightening out the legs. One breath to check in. So we're kind of making a half circle here. So now it's kind of the ankle, the outside of the ankle that's gliding on the floor, and that knee just stays bent as it comes to the outside. And then it tilts and comes to the inside. And take it to the outside and straighten out the leg. Inhale, bend the knee to the outside. Exhale. Breathing in, leg to the outside. Exhale, return to Shavasana. One more time. your pace, your breath. Settle, quick check-in. How does the body feel? How is it settled? Feeling how these small, subtle changes shift the weight of the body on this foundation that never changes. Go ahead and bring the knee of the other leg, the left leg, out to the side. Tilt that knee towards the inside, towards that other knee. So my hip's going to lift up a little bit. Shoulders stay on the mat. Bring that knee to the outside. Straighten out the leg. Take a breath. Again, let's bring that knee to the outside. Lift that hip up a little bit as that knee tilts in. Knee comes back out and the leg extends. Each movement connected to your breath. One breath to check in. And do that one more time on your own. Settle on. Take a breath. A little longer to check in this time. Again, just noticing the way that this sequence has changed the way that the body is connected. Next, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together and slide the feet up towards the hips. Let the knees come out. And just slide them back and straighten out the legs. And 3 more times here, soles of the feet together, knees come out to the side. It's a butterfly. Extend, take that breath and check in. As you do this, notice any sensations in the inner thighs, the groin, the hips. Do those knees come all the way to the mat, or like me, are those knees raised up? Can you keep the back in neutral position so that you're not arching the back as you draw the legs in? Exhale and extend. And just notice, how is the body connected? Go ahead and bend the knees. Bring the knees up so they are parallel, so the shins are parallel to the floor. Bring the arms out to the side. So just a gentle twist about 2/3 of the way down to one side, 2/3 of the way down to the other. Again, just a gentle check-in, just one more time here. Just noticing how the back responds to this twist. Come back to center, hands on the knees. Gently bring that right knee all the way down to the mat. Follow with the left knee. Let's connect the big toes here. Follow with the left knee at the very last possible moment and roll onto your side. Again, maybe it's more comfortable to have a blanket underneath your side. That's okay. Gently bring that left knee up all the way over to the other side. So back and forth here a few times, noticing any sensations in the hips, in the lower back, across the shoulders, in the neck. And maybe you can turn your head and look all the way back behind you. Maybe not. Just always working within your own range of motion,
whatever is most comfortable for you.
But also getting comfortable with tension. Not struggle, not pain, but tension. Last time coming over. Roll over onto your right. And support your head with a blanket or arm underneath your head. Bring this other hand to the rib cage. Go ahead and bend the knees at a 90-degree angle. So the knees are straight out from the hips, not angled towards the corner of the mat. So from here, let that top arm rest across your body. And then just gently lift up the foot, that top foot, and bring it back down. And take a breath. So what do you feel as that foot rises and that knee internally rotates? 2 more times here. Inhale as the leg rises. Exhale as the leg returns. Can you move the leg without moving the body? Does that change things? So now take this top arm up and over your head. So you're just going to take it to just above the ear. And gently just bring this up and back down to the mat. So that bottom shoulder stays on the mat. Shoulders stay aligned. Maybe you engage with your abdominals a little to support and find the balance. Take that breath in between each movement. Twice more, your pace. What do you notice? So we're going to put this move together. So the ankle will rise as the elbow rises. Head comes up and release. What do you notice as you take that breath? Two more times on your own. As you're ready to release, go ahead and just let that arm, how you felt when you started and what you notice now. And then roll over to the other side, and I'm just going to switch my orientation here so that I can see the camera, so that you can see me. So you're going to go ahead again, resting your head on your arm or a blanket or a small pillow. Bring those knees all the way in. Sometimes I find that as I move through the sequence that my knees start to drift a little bit. Can you keep them at a 90-degree angle? And start lifting that top foot up to the sky and back down. How does that feel on this side? So 3 more times. Take that centering breath in between each movement. As you're ready, bring that top arm up and over so it's going to catch right above the ear. And you're leading this with the abdominal, so don't think so much about leading with the elbow. It's kind of lifting from the abs, and then that elbow and the head follow and release. It's an internal oblique crunch, using those abdominals to guide the movement. Exhale and rise. Inhale, return. Take your breath in between. 2 more times. And next we'll combine the movement. So the elbow and the foot rise together. And that bottom shoulder still stays on the mat. Release. Where do you find the work in this? Where do you find the release in this? So as you finally settle, go ahead and bring that arm over the leg. Again, just considering the way that the body felt when you started, noticing where you are now. Bring your hand to in front of your rib cage, press into the hand and rise up to sitting. Just cross your legs in front of you comfortably, however that feels. Check in and notice how that feels. Create a pinwheel. That right leg will be in front, that left leg behind. Feet are flexed. Go ahead and press into that right foot. Left hand is at the hip, and gently bring that hip forward and back. So just lift and lower here. And then lift up and look over your back shoulder and just notice how the body has responded to this. So, where does the gaze fall? Where do you feel tension? What is your range of motion? And release. So twice more here, you're just going to inhale up, exhale back, pause. Inhale up, exhale back. Bring the arm out to the side, come across with the arm, and go back. One more time here. Now, turn the head opposite the way the arm is moving. Just challenging the somatic nervous system here, creating a movement pattern that is maybe not completely natural, something that you're not used to doing. One more time here. And then bring hand to the center, thumb connected to the sternum, palm facing towards that outside shoulder, towards the back shoulder. Go ahead and draw the gaze over the shoulder as you turn. Come back to center. Twice more here. Once more here. Now, draw the body over to the right, turn the head to the left. Back to center. 2 more times. Once more. This last time, come up and across, away from that hand where it's facing. Stay here. Keep your face here. Draw your gaze towards that back shoulder. Bring the gaze back. Come to center. Hand to hip, come forward and across, and just notice range of motion. How far are you twisting? How high are you lifting? Where does the gaze fall? Have things changed? Release and come back to center. Cross your legs in front of you. Take a breath and feels to sit. Has there been a shift or change? Same sequence, other side. Create that pinwheel. Left leg is now in front. Right hand behind. A few times here, just a gentle lift and lower. Very exploratory, what's going on in the hips and the back. And then come up. Stay here, look over that shoulder. Just notice range of motion, where the gaze falls, how the back feels, how the hip and legs feel. And release. So a few more times here with that pause in between. So lift and twist. Come back to center and pause. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you return. One more time here. Extend the arm out to the side. Gaze follows the hand as the hand comes up towards that back shoulder. Palm up as it comes towards that back foot. And a few times here. Very slowly. Feeling all of the sensations in the back, across the chest, and the shoulder, the arm. Can you look opposite that arm as it moves? Two more times here. Bring the hand to center, thumb to sternum, palm facing towards that back shoulder. Let the gaze go with the hand as you look to the back. Lift the hip. Return to center. Pause. Two more times. One more time. Take the head across the shoulder. Two more times here. One more time here. Find your hip lift. Look over that back shoulder. Stay there. Draw the gaze. I guess I'm looking over my front shoulder here. The gaze is going to go towards the back shoulder, but leave your face where it is. Come back to center. Hips come back. Hand to come up and across, and just notice again, what's your natural range of motion now? Where do you feel the sensations? What has shifted and changed? Release, come back to center. Cross the legs, find your sitting position. Take a couple of breaths here, check in, again, just notice what has shifted, what has changed, what has stayed the same. Accept it as it is. Can we be very attuned to God, noticing those small shifts and changes in our lives? Feeling the firm foundation of faith underneath us and guiding us. Bring those feet in front of you again, knees bent. Stay sitting, hands to shins. Exhaling, find a cat pose. So you're just going to tilt those hips back as you draw the belly in, tuck the chin, round the shoulders. And then inhaling, chest rises, gaze lifts. So a couple more times here. Exhale, round. Inhale, rise. Come to center. Take a breath. Cat to cow. Pause at center. And one final time, cat to cow. And release. Hands either to your side or underneath behind your legs. Come down onto your back again. And bend your knees. Extend the body long. Find that initial pose, that Shavasana. Check in for a moment, just noticing, the way that the legs have connected. And then bend the knees. Palms down at your side. Feet are about 1 foot away from your hips. Feet are hip width apart, so the knees are aligned with your hip points. Shoulders flat to the mat. From here, find your bridge pose. So you're going to tilt up. Start with drawing those hip points to the back of the mat, and then gently lift up and just come up 1 vertebra at a time. And notice how flexible your back is, how fluid the movement is. And exhale down. Two more times here. Rising up. Taking a little longer where your back is least flexible. Gently rolling down. Pause and notice. Let the back relax. One more time. Lifting up, finding bridge. Exhaling down, relaxing the back. How is the back connected to the mat now? What has shifted? What has stayed the same? Gently bring your knees into your rib cage. Let the heels drop towards the hips. Just circle the knees on the ceiling, massaging out all the way around that sacrum bone at the base of the spine. Just a lower back massage here. As you're ready, go the other direction. Gently bring the knees into the rib cage and away, back and forth here. And extend the legs long. I invite you to windshield wiper the feet, to bounce the knees, to wiggle the hips. Bring the hands up to the sky, palms facing in. Let the shoulders thump down to the mat. Do that twice more. Let the arms flop down to your side, palms up. Scan the body again. How are the feet rotated and connected? The calves. How much space is underneath the knees? Do the thighs touch? How wide or narrow are the legs? How is the weight distributed across the hips? Is it at the tailbone? Is it even right to left? Is it heavier on one side or the other? Where does the curve of the lower back begin and end? How much of the middle back is connected? And where is the weight on the shoulder blades? Notice the upper arms, the forearms, the way the hands are connected to the mat. Where does the curve of the neck begin and end? And how are you resting on your head? Is the weight behind the bridge of the nose? Is it higher or lower? Is it heavier to the right or the left? Find your breath and stay here, allowing the body and the brain to synthesize everything that happened in this practice. Inviting the Holy Spirit to guide your thoughts. As you hang on, as you cling to this God who never changes, who is all-knowing and all-powerful. And as you embrace the small changes of life, noticing each one. Gently begin to bring movement back, wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles, turning your head side to side. Reconnect to your breath and notice the way the body feels. And that next breath in, bring arms up and overhead, extending fingertips long to one wall, toes to the other. Gently bend the knees, roll over onto your side. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Just allowing the blood pressure to return to normal, the heart rate to rise a bit. And press into your hands, rising up, finding a seated position. And one final time, checking in here. Body, mind, and soul, what has changed, what has stayed the same, accepting it as it is. Taking a deep breath in, palms rise, hands together, bring hands to heart, bowing your head, joining me in prayer. Holy God, we are so grateful for the foundation of faith, for the consistency of your story from beginning to end. We're thankful for the presence of your Spirit always with us, for a God who never abandons or leaves us. Open our eyes and our heart to all that you have for us. It is in the name of Jesus the Christ that we pray. Amen. Thank you for practicing with me today.